listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's House of Lies After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's House of Lies After Show.
Burn. Yeah. It's all right. Because I love the way you lie.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to another House of Lies. Episode 4 of Season 4, Associates, is the title. I am your host, Roya Taheri, and of course, joining me is Lem Gonsalves.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Great. Awesome. Well, welcome to this episode.
I know.
I don't know where to start from that. I just
right.
kind of
Welcome.
start speaking word vomit. Anyways.
There it is.
So let's just jump right into this episode.
Jump in.
Jeannie, first episode of Jeannie
Yes.
being over at Con and Associates.
Yes.
And she's got a little bit of an attitude.
Well, we saw it start last episode, and I was just really, rooting for her. But I think this time, she's taking it, too far.
Like diva.
I think she's really deviant. I'm not saying she's not liable or she's not, she can't do that or she shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. But I just thought she was going to kind of give him a hard time and, kind of show her that she can hold her own. But she walked in and she's just not having it with him at all.
First thing she does, she walks in, she sees a
Right.
sign, and her name's nowhere near it.
Exactly.
Which she does have a very long last name, which Marty did mention. And I mean, that wasn't the reason why it wasn't set up.
Right.
It was because he worked hard, because he wanted that. He's been working his life to get to something that he can call his own.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. Except for I do kind of feel that him and Jeannie did work together to build this company, in my opinion.
But he was always the head.
Yeah.
They were never equal at Galweather, right?
Except for that's now their agreement is that they'd be pretty much equal. She wants what he has.
Oh, based on, okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So, gotta mix. I can see why she's a little upset, but I would be. You're right. She is taking it a little bit too far. She shouldn't be just assuming right off the bat her name's going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So they have a new company that they're trying to get.
Right.
In which Dollahide.
Hyde.
Dollahide. Am I whitening it way too bad? White girl problem.
You have to linger Dollahide. Yeah.
Dollahide.
There you go.
Yeah, Dollahide.
That's good.
Which Marty says he's going to take lead on.
Right.
Which, before we jump into that part, I should probably mention how Marty messes with Doug about Doug returning.
I think that was that was great.
Yeah.
That was bad because I didn't get it. I just assumed he was serious and he's in the kitchen and Doug is just so I'm back, right? And he's no. What are you doing in my kitchen?
Yeah.
What are you? And he just straight face, no smirk, no crack, no nothing. And then he keeps it going until Jeannie says he's messing with you. Come on. And then he's still not giving, we can drop you off. If you want, we can drop you off at Galweather if you want.
On our way.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just still confused. And then finally he lets it go. But I thought that was great.
Do you think he should have let Doug come back or come to his company?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
I
because
think
you love Doug?
Yeah. I don't know that he loves Doug.
No, because you love Doug.
Oh, I like Doug. I don't love Doug.
Okay.
I like him. I mean, I think we just have, a beard in common. I like that he has a beard this season. He's rocking it nice.
What about his lady interest now? Caitlin.
You talking about the one he married?
No, that's Sarah. Caitlin, he has a new, when he was in the kitchen, he was pretty much flirting
you think
with
so?
Caitlin. Oh,
is that what you got?
The way she walked away and he just kept looking at her, and then the other guy told him she's got a boyfriend. And apparently you have a wife too.
Right.
And he goes, oh, no, it's not like, it was totally like that.
So you think, I didn't catch that. And I think probably because I think his character is somebody that wouldn't step out on his wife, wouldn't cheat. I think he would be a loyal person.
Purpose.
Right. But maybe that's why I didn't even, hey, nothing, you can never know what can happen. But I mean, that's probably why I didn't catch it. But now that you do say that, I do kind of remember that scene. And so I don't know that anything would happen with that, but going back, and we've mentioned this before, they are rarely showing his wife.
Yeah.
They're not. She wasn't in this episode. She was like in one scene last episode, I think, or something like that. So
about the babies.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe it is a situation where he may be stepping out on her, you know, getting cold feet about the situation, having babies, and maybe he kind of wants to feel himself and look at other girls, because he was kind of rushed into that. That wasn't a traditional marriage.
Yeah.
By all intents and purposes.
I feel he's going to do something. He's
Yeah.
gonna, if the opportunity comes
Yeah.
where Caitlyn's upset, he's going to try and be her knight in shining armor because he's not in love with Sarah anymore. That's my, but I guess that's a prediction, so we won't get there.
Right. Too early.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit early.
Right.
So let's go back to Dalahide.
Dalahide.
Dalahide?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I love how you checked out your face.
I gotta get it. Which has Lucas Fry and Dre Collins.
Yes, played by Mekhi Phifer.
Dre Collins.
And yes, and we also have T.I.
As Lucas,
So exactly. And I haven't seen Mekhi in a while, so it was good to see him on screen again.
Yeah, he's
doing this.
still looks pretty good still.
Yeah, getting a little weight. A little weight.
The button-up shirt.
Yeah, it's all good.
But he still looks good.
Yeah, well, hey, I'll let you say
I'll
that.
always think of ER with him, though.
Oh, there you go.
He's my ER doctor dream. Boat.
There you go. There you go.
So they have this huge company that obviously Lucas and Dr. Dre, or I'm sorry.
You just get all hood, Roya. You just went straight hood. Dr. Dre's in the scene now. 50 Cent's popping up. Everybody's around. Okay, I see how it is.
Yep. So Dre and Lucas
right.
have a huge issue with each other where
Right.
Dre wants to take it somewhere completely up to Barney's, and Lucas just doesn't care because
Right.
their income is their investment money is pretty much from drug money.
Right.
Is what Marty was saying.
Right.
So they want to change their atmosphere.
Right, change the brand.
The branding, yes, which is why Marty's coming in
Exactly.
with Jeannie. Did you find that it was interesting how Marty tells her he's gonna take control, but then at the meeting, Jeannie steps up.
Right. I don't want to say I called that, but I knew that based on how she was acting and how she came in and he said he was going to take the lead and all that. And she was like, okay. Like she already was plotting that she's not going to let that happen. She's not going to play second fiddle. She's definitely going to make her mark as the person that she feels she is with the company. She's stepping in. She wants them to be equal. She, basically is like, this is my account, or we need to share this account. So I'm going to make sure I say my piece known. And it was interesting too, how she kind of made that outburst with him over to it was Lucas, right?
Yep.
When he was kind of just hitting on the associate
Katie, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, she's just asserting herself, and I think we're gonna just see. I think this is gonna be something, again, not too early to make predictions, but I think she's gonna continue in this vein.
Do you think Jeannie did what she did to protect Katie because she didn't want Marty to use Katie as a sexual object to get into with Lucas, like he has with Jeannie or anyone else, where he tries to use them as a way to be like, you got to make the client happy, do what you got to do?
Well, yes, I will say yes. And the reason why I say yes is because if you think about it, when she did kind of start talking, he kind of played that down. And kind of did that like he would do in previous sessions when they were at Galweather. So, and she's obviously not having it. So I think she did assert herself saying, no, I'm just as important. What I have to say is just as important. You're not going to play me like that.
Right.
So I do think, and that goes to show even further on in the episode when they had their conversation and she was kind of like, kind of praising her and
who?
I'm talking about later on when, she was
Jeannie?
when they got back. Yes.
Jeannie and Katie?
Yes.
Well, I mean, what I was wondering was, do you think Jeannie was protecting Katie not to be a pawn in Marty's chess game of being sexual object, or do you think Jeannie was just trying to do a power thing and prevent Marty from
I see what
having
you're saying.
control?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think it was a little bit of both. I think more so to the fact of playing the power both.
Right, because she does say to Katie
Exactly.
that there's always an alpha, and you even see it with Dalahide, with Lucas and Dre. You know who the alpha is, and you know who's not. So, question is, who is the alpha between Marty and Jeannie?
Well, it's Marty, but
is it?
Okay, it's Marty now, but I think that Jeannie is asserting herself, and I think she is going to try to take over and be the alpha.
That's fair, yeah.
Again, no predictions.
Right.
But, I mean, we're getting ahead, but I do think that's just, now whether that happens, Marty's a strong individual. Yeah. He's just not going to lay down and let her do what she wants to do. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he wants her there, and I think he's going to do whatever's going to make her happy.
Yeah, because this might, again, be reaching a little bit towards predictions, but do you feel he is in love with Jeannie?
I think, yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Still.
Because in the kitchen when he's talking to his grandpa, this is way in the beginning again,
Right,
before he
right.
meets
When they were
Jeannie.
razzing him,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's kind of like schoolboy crush
Exactly.
all over again.
Exactly.
He's going back to school.
Exactly.
So yeah.
No, I definitely think he's in love with her. I don't think that's going to change at all. I think he definitely knows he missed his opportunity to say his piece that we saw, previously. But I think that there's going to be I think he's maybe looking to where he wants to say that, where he wants to go that way, hoping that when she came over that was something that maybe could happen. But of course, the way she's acting like she's nowhere interested in going that way. She wants to keep everything super professional, so now whether that ends up, that way or stays that way, that's a different story. But I think it's turning where he was the aggressor and she was they are switching roles.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Which makes me really upset because I feel Jeannie's going to lose opportunities with Marty because she wants to get back on top, even
Right.
though I know that was her goal from season 1 was to
Right.
make partner.
Exactly.
I know that.
Exactly.
But I just want Marty and Jeannie to get together already.
I do too.
I want that.
do
I want
too.
that banging to happen.
I want them to get together. I do want them to get together.
But you know who is together?
Who is together?
Lex and Roscoe.
Yes.
Or are they? Because Marty asks, so you and Lex? And he just goes, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's just teenage. That has no indication of how he feels. That's just teenage. You try to just play it off and you don't want to seem too sappy or you don't want to seem, he's a guy no matter what the situation is at the end of the day. So he just kind of wants to play it cool. And of course he has, his dad is Marty. He's protective of him,
True.
At the end of the day. And so he kind of doesn't want to give too much. But I thought it was very, very interesting about that scene when he kind of wants his dad and his grandpa to kind of step out the room. Because he kind of knows what's going to happen and,
I'd be really embarrassed if I was Roscoe and I had to kick my parents out or my grandparents just to be able to get a kiss. I would find it different. Maybe step outside the door,
Right,
shut the door a
or
little bit
something.
over.
Yeah.
Not like he's going to get kidnapped
Right.
in front of the door right there. If that's a parent, I don't know. Parents
Well, I
have
think
fears.
that's normally what would happen. I think
Can't
this
do
is
it in front
yeah.
of the
This
door.
is that scene is definitely customary to bring light to the show,
Right.
Because in real life, you're never going to be like, Mom, Dad, can you
Right,
kind of
yeah.
step out?
Yeah.
Like, no,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
So that at least not in my house. That's
Yeah.
not happening.
I get the relation to why the show had to do it that route. So
Exactly.
that way both the grandparent and the dad knew about what they were about to approach to do.
Exactly. And we could then see it
Yeah.
happen. What do you think about Lex? What do you think is his motive? Because I'm curious because I kind of think he's a little shifty.
I don't think there's a motive at all. Because
You don't think there's an undertone or anything like he's trying to do anything?
I just
or,
don't like the snotty attitude.
Yeah.
But that he has his own car, so therefore he must have money.
Right.
And that's just high nose type of thing compared to Roscoe, who his dad has money, but
Right.
isn't like that
but
at
isn't
all.
like that at all.
I like their opposites. I like that. Literally, they're
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. No, they're very much opposites. And it's interesting because you have, what is it? I lost his name. Lex.
Lex, yeah.
Lex is had a sex change. He was a girl, as he mentioned.
Still is
Roscoe,
technically a
well,
girl, but
yeah,
yeah.
but he's living as
he
a
was
boy.
born a girl.
Uh-huh.
Boy inside. Was that?
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
But he's playing. He is a boy. He's living his life as a boy.
Yes.
So, but he is clearly the alpha person in the relationship, whereas Roscoe is taking the second, whatever the role as being the not dominant, whatever the subservient or whatever you would call in the I mean, obviously it's a teenage relationship, so I mean I don't know how the definitions go, but it's just interesting.
Changes every generation.
It does.
I mean,
It
look at
does.
them just in general.
Right.
Look at them. They're a
Exactly.
completely different kind of couple.
Yeah.
Than when I went to school.
Right.
So-
But I think, I don't know, just in my opinion, whenever I do see kind of how his interaction Lex, I just think there's something about him that's shifty.
Yeah.
That I'm not saying he's going to hurt Roscoe, but I think that there's something about him where he just is, I don't know if he's taking advantage of him or I don't know. There's just something about him that I just don't agree with.
Is that because we've only seen it in settings that Roscoe has brought Lex into versus us into Lex's settings?
Well, I'm just looking at the first time that he met Marty, you know what I'm saying? At the basketball court. Remember when they met at the basketball
When
court?
they're very rude.
Right, exactly.
Rich kid.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he was really rude to Marty, and it's like that's his dad. I don't care how you are, you're going to be disrespectful to his dad.
I feel at that age they don't have that kind of knowledge towards
Really?
knowing. Oh, I should be really sweet to you, unless they've been upbringing that way.
Right.
Then I would say they should know better. But if they don't know, they're just gonna be rude to the parents of the significant other. Heck, one of my friends growing up was super rude to my parents. Well,
Really?
they're not my friend anymore because my parents raised me a little bit better than that.
Not my
Like, if they're
friend.
treating us like that, they're
Right.
going to treat you even worse.
Exactly.
But who knows? We still need to learn more about Lex and what
Right.
his
Yeah.
Lex's background.
Right.
We need to learn more about that.
I think, and this just came to me because when you said that, I think what it is that Eddie Haskell. You remember Leave It to Beaver? And Eddie Haskell and how he was, where he was like, he was nice. Well, it was kind of reversed, but he was nice to the parents, but he was really a meanie. Like he would always, with Beaver, like he would always like make fun of him or razz him or something like that. So he was just very like, he couldn't be trusted. And so I kind of feel like the same thing with him. He's just, I don't know. I get that. Maybe it'll change later, but that's how I feel about him right now. So I don't know. We'll see.
You know what I get, though?
What?
I get iTunes.
iTunes.
I understand it. iTunes and YouTube.
Yes.
Yes. You can actually download this podcast for free on iTunes. It's free, like I just said.
Yes.
Rate us. Let us know. It is a new iPod cast, so you guys can have top feedback, and we will give you a shout out. And same with YouTube comments. Just comment below if you
Please
agree,
do.
disagree. If you think Lex is going to be shifty and do something bad,
Right.
say it at the
Say
bottom.
it. Say it. Comment.
Yeah, we will comment you guys back. So do it. And there's a bunch of other shows on AfterBuzz as well, so you can catch up on any of those.
Yes.
Anything besides House of Lies.
All day,
But-
every day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, before we keep going on to Clyde, maybe we should. Do you want to talk about Clyde now, or do you want to talk about how Dre came and met Marty?
Let's talk about Dre meeting Marty for a
because
minute,
Clyde
because
is
I
a
think that was
huge-
yeah. I think that was kind of poignant.
Okay.
What did you get from that? Like, what was your take on that?
Something bad, negative's going to come out, because it seems like Dre obviously he wants to pull Lucas out. But how are you going to get someone who is all obsessed about having guns and drugs
Right.
out cleanly from your company without ruining it? I don't think it's going to go very well. I don't think Dre's going to be able to kill Lucas, but
Like kill
something-
him metaphorically, or are you talking about
Physically.
like, actually get down?
I mean, they are from the hood. You never know, right?
That's true.
So-
That's true. 50 Cent was in the episode with Dr. Dre, so that, Compton, shout out.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I just that is shifty to me. Their
Okay.
meeting was more shifty
I agree.
than Lex. I think we don't need to stress out about Lex that much.
Leave Lex alone, little Lex. Okay, I got you.
What do you think about the meeting?
I mean, I agree with you for the most part. I think that he definitely is looking to get him out. I think it's for the purpose of the company, like in the sense that I don't think he's really trying to because Marty asked him, he said, do you think he'd sell? Because obviously that's the first route to go. If you want to get rid of your partner, will you sell? Okay, sell, boom, done. So he's willing to do that, but he's basically saying that he won't. So now he's like, what is the alternative? He wants to go this way. And Marty, what is called that he is the alpha male, as Jeannie said. So he is the person that is the brains of the operation. So he is the person that's going to make that decision or try and make that decision. So I think in having Marty come, I think he wants to have Marty help him get to that point where he can get him out of the picture somehow.
Yeah.
Legitimately or illegitimately.
Yeah,
One way or the other.
He does know a lot of dirt about Lucas, so
Exactly.
pretty easy to frame him and make him get out.
I mean,
They
there's
did
a lot
it
that
to,
can happen.
Not the skipper. They did it to. I always keep calling him the skipper.
Oh, the skipper. What is his name?
Well, they did it to that guy.
Yeah,
the
that guy.
perv that had sex with
that came
everybody.
back.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well, let's talk about Clyde
Clyde.
and
Poor
his
Clyde.
descent to. First off, it sounds like he's been only AWOL for 3 days, as his
Right.
partner said. How do you get your car rebuilt
That's-
from 3 days?
Dude, I'm telling you. I was like, how is that possible? He was gone 3 days. Now, my thing is, the
It's a
only thing I
Porsche.
think of, it is a Porsche.
Pay every day.
Right, exactly. Or he's really been having problems for a while, and then he's just at the end of his rope. So, maybe he hasn't been making money, over where he's been, because he has been over there for some time. And so maybe he's not making money, and then this is all kind of spiraling out of control till he gets to the point where he's at now, where he, is gone, and then now he's naked in the back of a car.
naked.
Right. Just no clothes.
I thought that was a little bit not poorly written, but I thought it was kind of his background of how he became drug dependent or alcohol dependent. As he said to Marty, I don't know if it was the drugs or the alcohol, but something happened. So I felt, unless they purposely did that and we're going to have a flashback of what happened.
Right.
It just doesn't explain why his car got repoed. Even though I did like his lines with the repo guy. Say, well, I'm just doing my job. Oh, yeah? Well, Osama bin Laden's just doing his job.
Right.
Really?
Well, I think and talking about the writing of the show, I think that they had to do something to show like him being rock bottom. So, I mean, when you get your car repoed, that's just a indicator of that.
Yeah.
And so they had to do something to show that, and that was maybe the easiest thing to do.
Versus having to do a whole backstory.
Exactly. You know, it is a 30-minute episode.
Detail.
Exactly. So his car gets repoed. Now you know, and then he ends up naked. So you just know he's rock bottom.
Yeah.
You know he's rock bottom. Now, my question to you is, now that Marty was the one that picked him up, no one else but Marty. So do you think that because Marty picking him up, is that a sign that you think he's going to come over to Con Associates?
Well, in their conversation in the car kind of sounded like how Marty does, where he accepts an apology but doesn't obviously accept it. For example, I know that sounded really stupid, but Marty does that where he will say, okay, that's fine.
Right.
Or he won't ever say, yeah, that's fine, I forgive you.
Right.
It'll be a brush off of course you're working with us. Or you find out later, like what he did with Doug.
Right.
When Doug said, well, I'm working for you now. He goes, no, you chose Galweather. It's not us. And later it turns out he's just effing with him. So I just don't think Marty's the kind where he says it right up front. Like, I accept your apology.
Right.
Yes, you should come work for me. He's not going to do that. He wants people to come crawling to him.
That's how he
What
operates.
do you think?
Again, I'm with you today, Roya. I agree with you. I agree with you. We don't always see eye to eye, but today I agree with you. Word.
Well,
so
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree because Marty is Marty Khan. I think it's not going to be that easy. I think that he is going to come on board at some point, or he's going to ask to come back, because there's no way he's going to go back. I mean, I can't see him going back to that situation.
The other.
Exactly. Where he's at,
wife.
with his ex-wife. So I can't see that happening. So where else is he going to go? He's not going to go to Galweather. Galweather's going down the toilet. 6 months, as it was said, they're going to be shut down. So where else is he going to go? And they're not going to remove his character. Right. So he has to stay around some way, somehow. Yeah. He's not going to make his own pod or make his own company. That's not happening. So I think the only route is him coming over to Con Associates and basically having this reunion, and having everybody back in the same house, and then seeing where that goes from there, and that dynamic, and how now that, because obviously the roles are reversed. You have Jeannie just, on cloud nine, just telling everybody what to do, and just being who she is. And then you got Doug kind of, like you said, kind of changing his perspective, hollering at girls, flirting, and he's got a wife. So he's kind of changing. Now you see Clyde just, at rock bottom. He's not on, or he's always a big talker, but so everyone's kind of different. So it could be interesting to kind of see where that goes at Con Associates.
You know where we should go now? Predictions.
I think predictions is a good idea. Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ba-da-da-da.
Do you have any more to add towards?
Yeah, I was kind of like going on predictions already. I jumped the gun. I do this all the time. I do. Okay, so I'll just go down the line. So I think that we're going to see. I'll start at the top. So with Jeannie. I think Jeannie is going to continue the way she's going, to where she's going to basically make Marty, kind of be at a footstool. She's going to make him do whatever she wants. She's going to make him do whatever he wants to keep her there, keep her happy. Okay. Now, what that is, I don't know, but she's going to keep in that same vein. She's not going to let up anytime soon whatsoever. I think Doug is going to have there's going to be one more talk with his wife, but something is going to happen, whether they split up or they have a child. I think it's going to go the split up route, and she's going to be out of the picture because, like I said, we haven't seen her. And so I think she's going to just slowly making her way out, and something's going to happen with that, but more than likely she's going to be out. I think that the relationship between Roscoe and, his significant other, Lex, is going to continue to grow, but in my heart of hearts, Eddie Housel's going to rise up, and something's going to happen and it could be just, I don't think anything serious, like detrimental, but where he just breaks his heart.
Okay.
You know, just breaks his heart. This is his first relationship. He breaks his heart, and that's it. Done. And then I definitely think Clyde, for sure, 100% is coming over to Condon Associates.
Very cool. Well, mine's very. I agree with you on some of those items for sure.
Just some?
It's just some.
Oh.
I mean, I can see some of it happening. For Doug, example, I think he will split up with his wife,
Okay.
but the wife's gonna have a baby.
Okay.
That's my prediction with them. Jeannie is going to spot Dre and Marty's new business plan of trying to get rid of Lucas, and she's gonna keep Lucas under her finger, so that way, kind of guide him where they don't separate. Therefore, Marty doesn't get the head of the account. So I think she's going to play some kind of role in that.
Okay.
Where she's going to have more control over the whole account than Marty would.
Okay.
Where she could tell Lucas, hey, go this way. Other way around. But yeah, other than that, you kind of hit a lot on the head. So Clyde will be there for sure.
Yes. And then maybe next episode, Dr. Dre and 50 Cent will come.
Maybe.
And
Who
be
knows?
there just because. Just saying.
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. Lem, where can we find you?
Where can you find me? Well, when I'm not at AfterBuzz Studio, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Poet Saint all day, every day.
Perfect. And guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well at Hey Roya. That's HeyRoya. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or
Thank you for
principals.
watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.